Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I figured I would just kind of sit down, do my makeup, get ready with you guys, and test out some new goodies that I bought slash got in PR. So the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes is the PUR and RawBeautyKristi collaboration palette. I love Kristi and I am so excited to, well, I was about to say I'm so excited to try this out, but like I already did try it out. I already have it on my eyes, but I was so excited to try this out. This is the look that I made with it. I also was really lucky and CloverFX sent me a really pretty awesome PR package with a whole bunch of goodies to test out. I have probably like 5 or 6 of them on my face right now. If for some reason the rest of the video looks a little bit different, like the background and stuff, just like slightly off, it's because I completely forgot to film an intro. Completely forgot. I filmed my whole video, did my outro, did my thumbnail, did a whole nother video, a concealer declutter that's either already up or coming. And I sat down to plug my phone in and edit the videos and totally realized that I did not have an intro. So this is my intro. There's really loud playing outside. So yeah, I went a little bit out of my comfort zone for my eye look today, but I really like how it turned out. So just a little reminder before we get started, I upload every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays for you guys. If you are excited and you want to see the products and the goodies that I use to make this makeup look for you, then let's go ahead and get started. Like almost always, we are going to start off with our eyes today, and I have an exciting palette to use. The PUR and RawBeautyKristi palette. Oh my gosh, I love Kristi so much. I'm actually kind of a newer follower of hers. I feel like I have been watching her channel for probably around a year now, maybe a little bit more than a year, and I have just fallen for her and her channel and her husband Zach. They are so cute together. They're about to have a little baby after like 10 years of not thinking they could ever have a baby. They are having a little boy in a couple months, and I'm just really excited for her. And I actually did not plan on picking up this palette. This is the really colorful side. Oh, these shades. I'm gonna try to dip into this side. I'm gonna try, guys. And then the other side is the more neutral side. I'm sure you guys have seen this palette, but this is the more neutral side, and these shades are just stunning, and the names are hilarious. Like there's one that's you're not my real dad, because she says that all the time. Copper Boxes is like a really sweet story about her dad. You can watch her video if you want to hear that story behind that, but that's like a really sweet meaning behind it. Flavor Town, if you have not seen her Guy Fieri Halloween dress up video from like 5 years ago now, you have to go watch it. I'll try to remember to link it down below for you. I literally cried laughing the first time I saw that video. It was hilarious. And then Am I Orange, because she says that in like every single video. So I just really love the names. I actually was not planning on picking up, hold on, let me start the eye look before I get into that. I think what I'm going to start off with, which I'm really nervous to do this, but I'm going to start off with Am I Orange into my crease. I'm going to try to go a little bit out of my comfort zone today, and I'm kind of scared, I'm not going to lie. I hope it turns out well. Ooh, that's really pretty. So anyways, like I was saying, I actually was not planning on picking this palette up. I was really excited for Kristi, and I thought the shades were beautiful, and I just was really happy for her, but I just wasn't planning on picking it up. I didn't need another eyeshadow palette. But then I saw in one of her videos, PUR had sent like the first cardboard cutout of this, like the very first one. Prototype, I guess is what it's called. And her reaction, I'm pretty sure she put a timestamp up, and it was from like 2 years prior. And her reaction was just so genuine and so sweet, and she was just so stinking excited. And I literally paused the video right then and went and ordered the palette. She's just the cutest. So that shade is very pigmented, but not looking too crazy. I was afraid it would be a little too bright orange, but so far, I mean, it is pretty bright orange, but it's not anything that's absolutely insane, and it's blending out really nicely. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan. if you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but she said that in all of her videos I've watched of her and a couple other reviews I've watched on this palette. There is some kick up in the pan, but they're really pigmented and so far no fallout on the face. Okay, now that I got my orange all blended out, I'm gonna go ahead and take Copper Boxes right here, put that in my outer corner of my eye and up into the crease a little bit. I am not a huge fan of the two-sided palette, but I think it's a really cool concept that one side is more neutral and your everyday shades that you could use for work or for an interview or for just for a really quick, easy look, and then the other side super colorful, and that's where you can like let your creative juices flow and just really get outside of your comfort zone. This Copper Boxes shade actually isn't showing up as dark on my eye as I thought it was going to, but I'm not mad at it because I didn't think that there was going to be really any nice neutral transition shade for me in this, but I think that this Copper Boxes shade is going to be that for me if I decide to use it like that. So what I'm going to do now is take You're Not My Real Dad, it's like the darkest one, and do the same thing. There we go. That's like the deep richness I was wanting. Yeah, this shade is blending out too. I'm going to go ahead and go back into Copper Boxes and then put Not Your Real Dad on the other eye just so it's the same and even. That is advice. If you mess up on your eye or you do a step that you end up going over with something or you change your mind, make sure you do that same step on the other eye so they're even. Even if you like didn't really want that step and you're like, you still gotta like make them even, you know what I mean? So we put Copper Boxes. Now I'm gonna go in with You're Not My Real Dad. And these both are blending out really nicely as well. They're not getting like patchy or muddy or anything, and they're blending into that and my orange shade really nicely without getting like weird and muddy. We're kind of losing a little bit of that orange shade. Well, no, we're not. I looked on the camera and it's like, no, your eyes are pretty orange still. But in person, I feel like I'm losing it a little bit. But we're gonna go back over it, so not a big deal. And that is the one thing, like you have to like, this is the neutral side, so now I have to flip back over to the other side. It's not the end of the world. And I get why she did it. And it is something a little bit more unique, which I do enjoy. I love when brands or people try to be a little more innovative, since makeup is very inundated these days, I think is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. So what I'm going to do now is take my NYX Glitter Primer. You guys, if you do not own this by now, you need to. You need to go out and get it. It's the best. I'm gonna put that on the inner half of my eyelid. And we're gonna take from the neutral side that golden ticket shade in the middle. And we're just gonna stamp that on top. Ooh, oh my gosh, holy moly. Oh my gosh, that is so reflective and so gold. That is beautiful. Wow, I am very impressed by that shade. That is really, really pretty. I mean, I thought it was going to be super reflective and metallic and beautiful, but like, I don't know. That just like blew me out of the water. Oh, this shade is like, oh, so pretty. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that Moo shade from the Carly Bible palette, which is like my favorite shade in that whole entire palette. I literally will reach for that palette just for that gold Moo shade, and this reminds me of that, which I'm not mad at, because the more beautiful, stunning gold shades I can have in my life, the better. So we're just gonna take that brush and tap right back into You're Not My Real Dad in Copper Boxes just a tiny bit, and go back on the outer half. Try to blend those together so there's no harsh lines. So I feel like normally I would keep the eyes here, but I really want some brown like right here. Almost as if I did a cut crease, but I didn't do a cut crease. So I'm just gonna take this really tiny brush. We're gonna go in with You're Not My Real Dad in Copper Boxes. And we're just going to go here. I'm probably gonna end up losing it anyways, because shimmer always transfers up onto my lid, because that's just the eye shape I have. I'm gonna add it and make myself feel better. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, do you see like this, that added definition that gave us from this eye to this eye? It's just a really subtle detail that no one would probably have noticed, but I don't know, I just think it looks a lot better in my opinion. Okay, and I think we're gonna keep the eyes there for now. I plan on adding a like bottom lash line pop of color with a shade from Colorful Side, but we're gonna have to finish up a little bit more of my makeup before I do that. So let's move on to the rest of it. So like I said before, I got a really awesome, amazing, very generous package from Cover FX that had a bunch of new goodies in it that I have not gotten a chance to try from the brand yet. So we're going to use a couple of them for our complexion. They ended up sending over the Power Play foundation. I have heard really good things about this. They sent over this one. I think it's the shade Light. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't say, it just says N20 on the bottom, but I don't think that that's the shade. And then they also sent over their custom cover drops in Light 1. I haven't really heard anything about these really. I went ahead and swatched them on my hand for you. So these are the custom drops, and then that is the foundation. And then they also sent over their Power Play concealer in Light 2. I think this is going to be too dark for me. I'm not sure. I told them what shade I thought I would be, the lightest shades possible that any brand ever makes. But they sent over Light 2, which we're just going to try to make it work. But before that, we're going to add our Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I love this primer, but I am a little worried because this is like a really dark orange shade. And I feel like in everyone else's videos and Instagram posts that I see about this primer, it's like a lot more lighter of an orange shade. And I'm like, is this one going bad? It came to me this color. So I'm like, is it old? Did it come to me, you know, bad or like an older one? And it doesn't seem to really do anything. Like it doesn't break me out that I know of. It doesn't act weird under foundations or anything. So I'm like, I don't know. I would never have thought that this one, there was something wrong with this one without seeing like everyone else post about theirs. And literally everyone else's is so much lighter. So I'm like, is mine wrong? Like, is something wrong with mine? So let me know down in the comments if you've tried this primer and if it is this like dark orange color for you, or if it's a lighter one, because now I'm like, maybe I should like get a new one or something. I don't know. We put this one on because I don't really know, which one do I want to use? They looked pretty similar shade-wise, so I think I'm gonna do a half and half and see what happens. Pump out a little bit of foundation. I don't love this packaging, but it's not the end of the world. I prefer a pump, but it's not. It's okay. But anyways, I don't know how this foundation and cover drops are going to be, and my face tends to look dry. So we're just going to use that hydrating primer under it, and hopefully that... I should have used my Cover FX primer that I already own. Didn't think about that. I have the gripping primer from them, and I also have the mattifying primer. I do not recommend the mattifying primer. I'm pretty sure it does nothing. I'm really glad I got it like half off. I got it on sale at Ulta, but I do really enjoy the gripping primer. I've already used one complete one up and I rebought it. I really do like it. Okay, so this is not the best color match. It's a little dark and a little yellow, but that's okay. And it's definitely not full coverage. If you can see, there's still a lot of my acne, you know, scars and just normal acne peeking through, but that's okay. I feel like I've been starting to like a little bit lighter coverage these days. Let's put on some of the drops on the other side and see how that goes. Oh, these are really liquidy. Can you see that? Like really liquidy, wow. Ooh, they even feel super liquidy. I'm trying to think of what, this kind of feels like the Rare Beauty foundation a little bit. That one's a little bit thicker than this. Oh wow, that is providing way more coverage. Oh, I think I used way too much. Oops, okay. You know what, we're going to bring it on this side of the face because this side needs a little bit more help anyways, coverage wise, and I put way too much on this side of the face. So we gotta spread that out. My bad, I didn't realize that these drops were gonna be so dang full coverage, wow. Oh my gosh. These are also a little dark and yellow for me, but it's okay. Okay, so those drops had way more coverage than the foundation. I was not expecting that, I don't know why. I'm gonna take the rest of the little bit of the drops and put it on this side because I need the coverage. I will say though, with this being neutral light 1, if I were to guess, I wouldn't think that they have a lighter shade than this, and this is pretty dark. Ignore my chest. I feel like my skin is having a moment right now. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that my skin gets really finicky and just randomly gets really red and hot, and I do not know why. And my chest is having a moment right now. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I would assume that they don't have a shade that's lighter than this one, and it's too dark for me. So I don't love that. I like how it looks on my skin, and I really like the coverage it gave me. I can see my pores peeking through, so I definitely think that I would want to use a more pore filling primer next time. This just didn't really have too much coverage for me. I'm gonna have to try this again on its own without adding these drops, but these drops are crazy, like super coverage. So I think I like them both though. And then we have the Power Play Concealer. I just do not think this is going to be light enough for me. Oh yeah, dang it. Oh yeah, this is way too dark, shoot. Okay, well sadly I can't really come to a consensus on the concealer because it's going to end up being way too dark. It didn't seem like it added too much coverage to my cheeks that already has pretty decent coverage. I just really wish that this was my shade so I could try it out under my eyes, but sadly it is not, and I cannot. Instead, I'm just going to use my Benefit Bowing Concealer. I don't think I have used this on my channel yet. I've only used it probably 4 or 5 times in my real life, not on camera, and I really do like it. It's pretty full coverage. I got it on sale at Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. This was like the only thing I picked up. All right, I got the concealer all blended out. I really do like this concealer. It is super full coverage. So Cover FX also sent over their bronzing drops. I've never tried a bronzing drop before. This is in the shade Sun Kiss, so we're just going to shake it up and see what happens. Ooh. Okay, this reminds me of, yeah, it definitely does. It reminds me of the Flower Bronzing Essence where the dropper just doesn't really pick anything up. The other one does that. The Flower Beauty one does that too. Yeah, this is not picking anything up. Okay, well, we're just going to kind of wipe it off. Ooh, okay, it looks like a really nice cool tone shade. I'm excited to try it out. I'm just gonna take this little e.l.f. stipple brush. We're just going to ooh, that is really pretty. I like that a lot. That is such a really pretty shade. Normally, I feel like bronzers can look really too dark on my skin or really orange on my skin, and since this is such like a cool toned bronzer, it's such a cool toned shade that this is looking like really pretty. My nose is itching so bad. Oh, don't you hate that when your nose itches or anywhere on your face itches and you're like doing your makeup? Oh, good thing I haven't said it yet though, so I can just fix it right back with my beauty blender. Okay, this is like the drop. So how do I do this so you can see? The dropper just stinks, honestly. Like nothing comes out. I'm literally squeezing it, putting it down in there, unsqueezing. It looks like there's stuff in there. Oh, okay, I stand corrected. It came out that time. Dang it, now I feel like I got too much. Shoot. Oh, this is what happens when I try to demonstrate things. This is so stinking pretty. I really love these bronzing drops. It is such a good shade. It blended out so effortlessly. Okay, I'm really impressed by these. Like, really impressed. I love this so much. Okay, since my eyes are a little bright and bold and I do want to still do like a pop of color on the bottom, I'm going to go really just simple and light with the blush. So I'm going to use the Clove & Hollow Hydra Tint, and this is in the shade Blossom. It is just a really light pink blush. I was honestly afraid that it wouldn't even show up on my skin when I first got it. And it's just a beautiful, like barely there pink flush that I feel like would go with any look that you would need. Look at that. I don't think that this would necessarily work for a ton of skin tones. Obviously, I know I'm very fair, but they do have, I believe, 4 other colors or 3 other colors. I think there's 4 colors total. I think I mentioned this in another video, but I completely botched my like coupon code or affiliate code for you guys. I am an affiliate with Clove & Hollow if you ever want to try out their blushes, or I think I used their liquid highlight in another video or anything. They have a lot of really great products. if you shop through the link down below that I always have under all my videos, if you go through that link and you use the code emilysmakeupbag15, you get 15% off. I think last time I said, all you gotta do is like shop through the link and you get 10% off, but no, you have to go through the link and you have to use that code. You have to like type it in at the end, you know? But yeah, it'll get you 15% off. It is affiliated, so I do get a little something something if you choose to shop through the link. But yeah, I just really love this blush shade. It looks beautiful and it blended out like a dream. You see what I mean when I said that I would put the brown there and it would get covered up by the shimmer anyways, but that's okay. Now we're going to use the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. They sent this over as well. I actually really do like this powder. I've been through one complete one. I used it up a couple months ago though, so I haven't repurchased it or gotten it again. So I'm really glad that they sent it over. They have the little flippy cover thing. I know a lot of people like that. I don't. I usually end up ripping them off. I'm not gonna rip it off now, but I might in the future. And I got the shade, they sent over the shade Light Translucent, which is the one that works for me. Like I said, I've been through one complete one of this, so I really do like this powder. It seems to set the face nicely. It's usually, from what I remember, not super drying. And then we're also going to set in my T-zone. If you're wondering why I always shut my eyes when I set my face, it's because I have contacts in and the powder flies up everywhere and I don't want to get it all in my contacts. I have really sensitive, finicky eyes. Like, they already hate contacts even when things don't get in them. If you're always wondering, like, why does she shut her eyes every time she sets her face? That's why. I did my brows off camera. I used the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim and the Beauty Crap BFF Brow Mascara. Still trying to use them up, guys. They're the never-ending brow products. Okay, for my lower lash line, I think I want to do a pop of color, but what pop of color do I want to use is the question, because I got some options here. I think I'm gonna do this really blue teal shade, which is called Garden State. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that on my lower lash line. I'm gonna take a flat definer brush. This is the JH43, and we're just going to stamp it on our lower lash line. All the way from outer to inner corner. We're just gonna place that color down, and then I think I'm going to smudge it out. All right, I'm gonna take just my lower lash smudger brush that I always use, and we're just going to smudge this out, diffuse it a little bit, make it not a harsh line. Can you even see what, yeah, okay. Like, can you even see what I'm doing? Oh, I like that. I think that's cute. I mean, is it like out of my comfort zone? Yeah, for sure. Just take this little brush and just further smudge it. There's no product on this brush. For highlight to tie in with the gold in my eyes, we're going to use the Jouer Molten Glow highlight. Ooh, this is such a beautiful highlight shade. I was really afraid it would be too dark of a gold on me, but it is not. It is just super reflective and beautiful. I just went really hard with the highlight. That's all right. Okay, off camera, I went ahead and put on my Colourpop Cream Gel Liner. This is in the shade Honeydew. It's like a nice nude eyeliner in the waterline, and then I also use my Pixie by Petra Large Lash Mascara. Cover FX also sent over one of their new monochromatic lip colors. So I have 4 of the monochromatic blush duos. I absolutely love them, and they came out with lip colors that match them, and this is in Pink Dahlia. I'm not entirely sure what type of formula this is going to be, if it's like a matte lip or what, but we're just gonna go for it. Oh, it smells good. Kind of. It smells like a mix of like something sweet and yummy and then chemicals. But it's not super off-putting. I don't love this shade. Not gonna lie, it's drying down. So that makes me think it is supposed to be like a matte lip, which I also am not a huge fan of mattifying lips, but that's okay. But I'm not a huge fan of this color on me. I just think it's like a little too pink. I love the Pink Dahlia blush, but I also think it might be because this foundation is just a little bit dark on me and a little bit yellow. Maybe if I had a foundation that was my right shade and I was a little bit paler, I would like this pink shade on me more. I'm trying to think of what this liquid lipstick formula reminds me of. It's not as drying as the Kylie liquid lipsticks, which is good, but it is definitely like drying down and hopefully that means it'll stay on for a while. Yeah, this isn't my favorite, but I don't hate it. I'm gonna have to keep testing it out for sure. And then lastly, for setting spray today, we're gonna use the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. This was not sent to me in the package that they sent me. This I bought myself probably about a year ago or so. It's not my favorite setting spray, but it's not the worst. So we're gonna use this today. Everyone talks about how fine the mist is in the Cover FX setting sprays, and I definitely think I might have gotten a little bit of a dud. It's like a really fine mist and then a couple different spots it just jets out at me, which is pretty annoying, but it's a nice setting spray. And I used this my whole entire time on my honeymoon in Jamaica last summer when it was like 1,000,000 degrees humidity and 1,000,000 degrees in the air, and this definitely helped my makeup wear. So it is a good setting spray. It's just not my favorite. Really quickly, I'll run down through the new goodies that I tried today that I hadn't had a chance to try out yet. The PUR and RawBeautyKristi palette. I love Kristi, so I feel like I'm biased in my love for this palette, if that makes sense. But I really genuinely like how my look turned out. The shades blended really nicely. This golden ticket shade is just absolutely stunning. They blended together. They didn't get patchy or weird on my eyes or anything. And I am so excited to have this in my collection and to keep playing with this. I don't think it's available anymore, sadly, but hopefully if you wanted it, you were able to get your hands on it. So the Power Play foundation and the custom cover drops, this just didn't seem like it had a whole bunch of coverage, but I'm excited to try it out again. And this had a lot of coverage. I don't like that it's a light one shade. It's too dark on me, and I don't think that they would have a lighter one. I'd have to check, but I do like the coverage it gave me, and I do really like how my skin and my base looks right now. The concealer, unfortunately, is just way too dark for me. I think I'm gonna have to gift it to a friend. Hopefully I have a friend this tan, because the only one I can think of is my friend Abby, so I'll have to see if she wants it. But yeah, I think the formula seemed nice. A little bit I used of it. I wish it was in my shade so I could try it under my eyes, but sadly it's just a little bit too dark on me. The bronzer drops, I'm obsessed with these. I absolutely love it. You guys saw I didn't add any more powder bronzer or anything, and my face just looked like the name says, sun-kissed. It just looks so healthy and like tan, and I don't think I would have bought these myself. I would never think to buy a liquid bronzer like this. I've never tried a liquid bronzer like this other than the Flower Beauty Essence drops, but I don't use them as a bronzer. I just use them to mix into my foundation. So this actually being a bronzing drop that I put on as liquid bronzer, I've never done that before, and I was highly impressed. And then the last new thing I tried was the Monochromatic Lip color. So far, I'm not a huge fan of this. If you can tell, it's pretty dry on my lips. It's accentuating pretty much every single tiny line that my lips have. So I think if I were to wear this again, I would have to put a gloss over top of it. And I think I do need to try it again though, because with this eye look, I definitely would have gone for a more nude lip. I would not have chose to pair this pink bright lip with this eye, so that also might be throwing me off. So I just need to try this again, but it is pretty drying, so I don't think it's going to end up being my favorite formula, unfortunately. But I still wanted to give a shout out to Cover FX for being so kind and sweet to me. Thank you so much for sending over that package of all the goodies for me to try. I have a couple more things down there, sitting down there, that I didn't get a chance to try, so I will do so and keep you guys updated on my thoughts on them. So thank you so much to Cover FX. Not that anyone from Cover FX is probably watching this video, but just in case, thank you so much for sending me that package. I really appreciate you guys. And that was it, you guys. That was just a little get ready with me trying out a couple new products to me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the look that I made. I hope you appreciate my attempt of getting out of my comfort zone and trying something a little bit different that I haven't really done on my channel yet. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.